What's up, everybody? It is your lady, Ms.Z. Welcome back to Dawn and Dreams. I told you guys that I was going to be doing a video about protection, but I'm going to kind of take it into another angle right now. And this is going to be a quick talk video, okay? Because we're going to talk about how important it is to listen to your spirit family. I think that's what I'm going to title this video. But yeah, how important it is to listen to your spirit family, especially concerning the spirit of death, okay? And the warning sign. So it's still going to be a little bit about, well, it is going to be about protection, but we're only going to talk about one element. And the reason for that is because I feel like there's a lot of people in the spiritual community who are just entering into the spiritual, spiritual society or whatever. And I don't feel like, I can't say what a person is ready for or what they're not ready for, but I do find that, it does take a few years to get into certain information. And some people, they'll just automatically deal with it probably in the early stages of life. But for people who are still awakening into this journey and still getting their feet wet, it takes more than a few years to even, grasp the concept of death, avoiding the spirits of death, avoiding certain accidents and things like that from happening, knowing when you can and when you can't avoid it, just a lot of different things, because a lot of people kind of understand the concept of transition and acceptance. But the thing about that is, even when our loved ones do pass on, we still, have a hard time accepting that, no matter, if we are, very spiritual to the point we understand ascension, we understand they can still talk to us. We may understand all of that, but it does not take away the pain that we feel. Honestly, most of the time, no matter what stage of spirituality you are in, whether you are still in, the mundane spiritual practices or very spiritual practices, it doesn't matter where you are. When you lose somebody that's very close to you, all of that kind of, you just throw it out the window because you're feeling so much pain. You want to understand why, and even if you have an understanding, you can barely just apply that to that situation, especially when there is tragedy. Okay, so we're going to talk about, I want to talk to you about understanding certain spirit guides that come in to warn you about this information that may come to pass. And in my experience, and I didn't want to do this on a black screen, guys, but I'm getting ready to do some readings. I have a lot of subscription readings to do, so I was just like, we're gonna have to just stick with the black screen, okay? But in my experience, dealing with my spirit animals, the crows, this was one of my first experiences with my gifts, or just basically learning how they would communicate with me as a spiritual tool, and not just a tool, but a spiritual ally, should I say. They let me know that a woman was going to fall on her face, fall on the concrete, and it happened at a store, and she fell. This was an old woman, so just imagine an old woman falling on the concrete face forward, blood everywhere, and my partner's with me that day, so I know he remembers. But that was really freaky, because your spirit guides will not let up when there's something about to happen. And that was a spiritual lesson in itself, because the message behind that was they wanted me to be there so that I could help in any way with the situation. They knew it was coming. So that showed me how much they actually know. And it goes deeper than that, because your spirit animals, they can even read into your thoughts. So it gets really, really deep. But we're going to talk about the owl, for instance, okay? Because the owl, though it is a beautiful animal, though it is, I don't necessarily blame the spirit animal for being a bad omen in Native American traditions. And some, this may not be all, the owl would represent a bad omen. And it depends on where you are as well, because if you are in a highly populated area with owls everywhere, then for you, it's not going to mean that, okay? For you, it might just be a spirit animal. But for me, if the crow is my spirit animal, quite naturally, the opposite end of that is the owl. And I always used to wonder why I would never see owls. I could always hear them, but I would never see them unless I would go to a zoo or something like that where you can actually see an owl. But for the most part, the owl never shows its face to me. Okay. But when you hear an owl close to your home, it is said that you need to definitely watch out. There could be somebody that's going to be sick in your family. There's somebody that may turn up ill, that's close to your family or friends. And I solemnly, add friends on there because it's going to be people that are close to you, okay? And friends might be included in that if you consider them family. But I would say anybody close to your family, even in your own household, you need to be watchful, depending on how close that owl is to your house, okay? And this information is very, very accurate, okay? I've just learned this within this year, not within this year, I think within last year. But, it's interesting because I already knew the owl was the opposite of the crow. So I wasn't really, if the crow is my spirit animal, the crow, the raven, people that fly during the day, 9 times out of 10, the opposite is going to be the owl. The owl also works with, people of sorcery. So, some people that want to do things against you, they can definitely use the owl's medicine. They can use the owl's power to, put some spell work out on you and stuff like that. But that's another day. Okay. The main thing for this conversation is to just basically open your eyes and open your ears and open your senses, because no matter if the owl is a bad sign or not, that's not the point. The point is the owl is letting you know that, hey, something's going to happen and you need to be prepared for it, or you need to do some rituals around it so that you can either rid yourself of the energy completely, or, at least try to lessen the impact. Okay. Because, Native Americans, they know to get right to it. They know to get right to it when they see a bad omen. They know to get right to their rituals and their traditions and what they have to do. It's the same thing with Africans as well, African Americans as well. I'm including you all in one loop because I feel like it's a whole family there. But so don't think I'm discluding the people in the Western society as well when I just say African. But I will say that we as well know that. We should know. I'm gonna say we should, because it depends on how deep you are into your tradition or hoodoo or whatever it is that you do. You should know when you receive certain signs, it's time to get to work, because that sign that's being relayed to you means that it's going to be either soon or it's going to be, either further off, depending on what's being shown to you. So the owl definitely let me know something that was going on within my family. And it typically happens either within a month or something like that. I can't necessarily predict for everybody, but I will say that they will let you know ahead of time that something is targeting your family, or someone in your family may turn up sick or ill. So you need to start getting, this is what you learn these rituals for, these cleansing rituals. It's not just for yourself. And that's the mistake that I learned. You can't just do cleansing rituals and candles and all that for yourself. Okay. When you are working with the ancestors, you need to reflect that on your whole entire family. I don't care if you're just doing a prayer for your family every night. Even that gives a sense of protection over your household. Okay. And, I'm not talking about doing like these 30-day spells and stuff like that. And sometimes you have to, but on a daily basis, I'm talking about learning certain rituals that you do that builds up Ashe. Okay. It builds up Ashe, life force energy. It builds up a certain protection field over your family. Okay. I guarantee you the person that's praying every night for their family and not forgetting anybody probably has a better chance of ridding themselves of negative energy than the person that doesn't. Okay. The person that's not even thinking about nobody, not really remembering anybody, and really just doing things for their own self. Okay. So you want to remember that, because the target is not always going to be you. It's going to be somebody that's close to you. Okay. And the ancestors, even if they can't show up in your face and tell you, hey, you better watch out because Sally's going to get sick next week, they're probably going to send, if you work with spirit animals, because I know not everybody does. If you work with spirit animals, they will let you know within an animal. Okay. They're going to send certain signs. They're going to send that owl to your house to let you know how close it's coming. And, you can predict probably when it's going to come. If you follow up with divination, you can probably figure out what it's going to be and what type of illness. Okay. And just to go a little bit deeper into that, my ancestors, and you guys know, for some of you, that I'm a descendant of Yoruba, the Yoruba tribe as well. So my ancestors have really been pushing me to get into OB, divination. And OB actually It does go into the depths of, you know, accidents, death, all of that. That type of divination is really, really deep. But I don't say that you should just be reaching out for it, okay? And the reason I say that is because it's still a hard pill to swallow when you know something is coming, you know, to know that death might be knocking on the door saying, hey, you know, we about to take somebody. Now, like I said, if it's your time, it's your time, but there are always these precautions that will let you know ahead of time if it can be stopped. Even working with bones have literally prepared me for certain energies. You may work with deeper divination systems based off of the type of work that you're going to be doing here. Because I had no necessarily fascination with doing that type of divination or that type of work. It just kind of kept pushing me, and eventually I just said, well, I give in. I'm just going to do it. And the same day I received my first set of bones. So that's how it works out. You just know you're on the right track, because the same day, literally, or well, for me it was the same day, but for other people it might be within the week. You might find some synchronistic moments that are like, wow, you know, I finally just gave in to doing this, and it's actually exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. A lot of times you won't be able to sleep at night. You won't be able to get stuff off of your mind. A lot of times, now I'm not talking about guilt. I'm talking about when something's on your mind that you feel like you should be doing, but you still have setbacks. That's the ancestors coming through to tell you, we're not going to stop allowing you to think about this until you do it. Okay. So, and I know I'm trailing off into other areas, but I just wanted to get that out because, just pay attention to the things that are around you, because this is what they are for. These spiritual allies, they are the protectors. They are the people that let you know when good is coming and also when bad is coming too. And like I said, if you are, you know, just getting your feet in the spirituality, I would just, you know, you may hear this video and it may go through one ear and out the other. But when you get deeper into your practice, and some people are not meant to get that deep. Some people are probably still going to stay on the surface of spreading good energy and good harmony. And that's fine too. You know, I respect everybody in the spiritual community because they all serve a purpose. But there are some people that probably will go a little deeper into that because somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to tell you that, hey, you need to watch your back. You need to do this type of spell work to get this energy off of you, because it's coming for your family or whoever. And it's not something that you necessarily have to be afraid of or frantic. It's the energy that you just got to deal with. But I remember that I used to want to do spell work for people concerning healing and stuff like that. And I did it in the past, and I probably start bringing that back up. But it is something that you can do yourself. You know, it's something that you should probably be doing on a daily basis. But I just want to remind people of that. And I'll probably go deeper into ways that you can, you know, rid yourself of the energy, or you can just get with me and I will try to do something for you. But I don't offer that service right now, because right now I got too many energies that I'm already dealing with. So, and what I mean by that is I'm doing way too much. I'm a creator. I do this, I do that. I create the oils and this and that. And so it's a lot. I'm just one person. So I don't like to put my energy in too many hats. It's already in too many hats. So, but eventually I probably will start offering services as well for cleansings. But this is something that you still can do yourself, whether it's a simple cleanse or something that you feel like needs to be major. But it's something that's going to help your family and yourself as well. All right, guys, so that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please make sure that you like and subscribe, and peace out.